When you face misunderstanding in a relationship, divine wisdom teaches you to pause before reacting. It asks you to see beyond the surface of conflict, to look into the heart of the other and recognize their fears, insecurities, and struggles. It reminds you that every soul is a work in progress. Sometimes, people act from places of pain they don't yet understand. Divine wisdom encourages empathy before judgment, patience before anger, prayer before argument. And in that pause, miracles can happen. Hearts soften. Egos quiet. Light enters where darkness once lingered. In the times you feel lonely within relationships, divine wisdom draws close to remind you that you are never truly alone. The divine presence walks beside you in every conversation, every tear, every silence. Even when you feel unseen, heaven sees you. Even when your love feels unreciprocated, it is treasured in the divine heart. You are part of a larger tapestry of love and connection, one thread in a masterpiece that reaches far beyond this life. You are held, guided, and loved infinitely. Divine wisdom also brings balance. It reminds you that love is not only endurance, it is joy. Too often the mind focuses on what is wrong, but divine wisdom helps you see what is right, the laughter shared, the smiles exchanged, the quiet moments of comfort where love simply is. These are not small things. They are the threads that weave resilience into every relationship. They teach gratitude, which turns ordinary moments into sacred ones. Gratitude multiplies love. When you practice seeing love everywhere, even in its small, silent expressions, you magnify its power in your life. To truly live by divine wisdom in relationships means to see each connection as holy ground. Every person you meet is entrusted to you by divine design. Some are meant to stay a lifetime, others only a season, but all carry purpose. Each relationship teaches something: patience, courage, humility, compassion. Each one helps your soul become more like the light from which you were created. You are never losing love when you give it. Love given is love multiplied. There is sacred power in kindness. Divine wisdom shows that even the smallest act of kindness, an encouraging word, a listening ear, an apology sincerely spoken, has ripples far beyond what can be seen. Kindness disarms defensiveness, heals hurt, rekindles hope. When you consistently choose kindness, you create an atmosphere where hearts can breathe again. That is divine love in action, not grand gestures, but everyday grace lived out quietly and faithfully. Divine wisdom also invites you to pray for your relationships. Prayer is not simply a request for things to change, it is communion with love itself. When you pray for the people in your life, you bring them into the healing presence of divine light. Your prayer might not immediately alter circumstances, but it transforms your own heart first. It makes you gentler, wiser, more open. As your heart softens, your relationships begin to reflect that softness. Prayer is the bridge between heaven and earth, between misunderstanding and compassion, between hurt and healing. Sometimes divine wisdom calls you to release rather than hold on, to let go of relationships that have served their purpose. Letting go with love is an act of trust. It means you believe divine grace continues working in the lives of those you love, even beyond your direct connection. It means you honor their journey and your own by releasing control and surrendering to divine timing. Through that surrender, peace comes. You learn that endings can also be beginnings. In other seasons, divine wisdom may call you to rebuild, to renew what was once broken. Rebuilding requires humility, patience, and mutual willingness. It is not easy, but divine wisdom gives you strength for the hard work of reconciliation. It reminds you that true love is not perfect love, but love that endures through imperfection. Every repaired bond becomes stronger, like clay refined by fire. The scars remain, but they no longer hurt, they shine with the beauty of redemption. As divine wisdom fills your heart, you begin to see love not just as emotion, but as a sacred responsibility. You are entrusted with the care of souls, each person a reflection of the divine image. How you treat them is how you honor that divine spark. Speak life into your relationships. Offer words that build, not break, actions that heal, not harm. Love is not only spoken, it is lived in the daily choices of patience, honesty, faithfulness, and compassion. Divine wisdom celebrates the diversity of love's forms: romantic, familial, and platonic. The love between partners, the bond between parent and child, the connection between friends, all are facets of the same eternal light. Each relationship teaches a different aspect of divine love. Romantic love teaches intimacy and trust. Family love teaches selflessness and endurance. Friendship teaches loyalty and joy. Together, they reveal love's fullness, each reflecting the heart of the Creator in a unique way. When your relationships flourish, divine wisdom urges you to remain humble and grateful. When they falter, it calls you to reflect, learn, and grow. Growth often comes through pain, but pain is never wasted when offered back to the one who transforms suffering into wisdom. Divine love turns ashes into beauty. It takes broken hearts and turns them into vessels capable of deeper love than before. Every day is an opportunity to choose love again. Not because it is easy, but because it is divine. Love calls you to rise above fear, pride, and insecurity, and to become a conduit for something greater. When divine wisdom guides your love, relationships become holy ground, classrooms for the soul where patience is practiced, compassion is deepened, and grace is made visible. So wherever you find yourself today, in love, in loss, or somewhere in between, know that divine wisdom is near. It is the quiet light that never fades, the voice that reminds you you're enough, the hand that leads you gently toward peace. Open your heart and listen. The guidance will come in whispers, through intuition, through prayer, through the gentle nudges of compassion. Love is a gift. Family is a blessing. Friendship is a treasure. These are divine channels through which grace flows into human life. Hold them gently, cherish them deeply. Do not take them for granted. Every shared meal, every embrace, every kind word is a miracle in motion. Divine wisdom helps you see with new eyes, the eyes of love, which find beauty even in imperfection. It teaches you to love not only those who love you easily, but those who challenge your patience, because they, too, help you grow into divine likeness. In the end, divine wisdom teaches the greatest truth of all: love is eternal. It cannot be lost, broken, or diminished, it only changes form. The love you give remains part of the eternal flow, returning to you in ways you may not expect. It is the force that created the stars and guides every heartbeat. When you love with divine wisdom, you participate in that creation. You add light to the world, one heart at a time. May divine wisdom fill your relationships with understanding, renew your spirit with peace, and bless your path with compassion. May it teach you to see the divine in every face, to speak with love even in silence, and to trust that grace is always present, working, healing, guiding, and loving you into deeper wholeness. And may your life become a living prayer, a reflection of divine love shining through every relation. Divine wisdom is a gift that helps us walk through life with love, patience, and understanding. It is not loud or flashy. It does not try to prove itself. Divine wisdom whispers to our hearts and teaches us how to love others the way we are meant to. It comes from a higher place, a place where love is pure, selfless, and strong. In our relationships, whether with our partner, family members, or friends, this kind of wisdom helps us grow in ways we could never manage on our own. In love, divine wisdom teaches us that real love is not just about feelings. It is about choice. Feelings come and go, but divine love stays. It shows us that love is patient even when someone else is difficult. It reminds us that love is kind even when someone makes a mistake. Divine wisdom tells us to speak gently, to listen deeply, and to forgive freely. It helps us see the other person as a soul, not just as someone who makes us happy or sad, but as someone who is also growing, also struggling, also learning. Many times in love, people wait for the other person to change before they give their best. But wisdom says, give your best anyway. Give love even when it's hard. Give kindness when you feel hurt. This doesn't mean letting people hurt you over and over again. It means standing in love and truth at the same time. Divine wisdom shows us that setting healthy boundaries is also love. Saying no when needed is not unkind, it is honest, and honesty is a part of love too. In families, divine wisdom plays a deep and quiet role. Families can be full of joy, but they can also be full of pain. Sometimes, the people closest to us are the ones who hurt us the most. And sometimes, we are the ones who hurt them, even without meaning to. In these moments, we need something more than just human strength. We need divine help. We need wisdom to know when to speak and when to stay quiet, when to hold on and when to let go, when to try again and when to let things rest in God's hands. There are no perfect families, but there is perfect love. That love doesn't come from us. It flows through us when we invite the divine to lead us. It helps us forgive things we never thought we could forgive. It gives us peace even when things around us are not peaceful. It teaches us that every family member is on their own path, and that our job is not to control them, but to love them, pray for them, and trust that they too are being guided. In friendship, divine wisdom reminds us of loyalty, honesty, and support. A true friend is someone who stands by you, not just when things are good, but also when things are hard. It is someone who tells you the truth in love, not to hurt you, but to help you grow. Divine wisdom helps us be that kind of friend. It helps us notice when someone is hurting behind a smile. It helps us reach out, even when we don't know what to say. Sometimes just being there is enough. Friendship built on divine wisdom is not selfish. It doesn't ask, what can I get from this person? Instead, it asks, how can I serve? How can I love? It is generous. It gives time, patience, laughter, and sometimes even tears. It shares both joy and sorrow. And when friendship is rooted in divine love, it doesn't break easily. Even after misunderstandings or time apart, something deeper remains, a bond that goes beyond the surface. There will always be moments in relationships when things don't make sense. People change. We change. Life brings situations we never expected. But divine wisdom is like a light in the dark. It helps us see not just what is happening, but why it matters. It teaches us that relationships are not about being perfect, but about becoming more loving, more understanding, and more true. Sometimes, the hardest moments in relationships are the ones that teach us the most. They teach us humility. They teach us how to let go. They teach us how to hold on. Divine wisdom also helps us when we face loss. Some relationships end. Some people leave, or pass away. The pain can be so deep it feels like we will never recover. But divine wisdom reminds us that love never dies. The bond we shared, the love we gave, it remains. It becomes part of who we are. And if we let it, that love can keep flowing through us, reaching others who need it. Even in loss, love finds a way to live on. We are not alone in this journey. The divine walks with us, guiding us through every relationship we have. If we take time to pause, to pray, to listen, we will hear that gentle voice reminding us, you are loved. You are enough. Keep going. And from that place of knowing we are loved, we can love others better. There is beauty in every kind of relationship. There is beauty in the awkward beginning of new love, in the everyday rhythm of long-term love, in the messy closeness of family, and in the quiet support of friendship. When we allow divine wisdom to shape the way we relate to others, we begin to see people differently. We see them with compassion. We understand their struggles more clearly. We stop judging so quickly. We give grace, just as we hope to receive it. And we learn to love without needing to be perfect. We learn to say sorry, and to say it with sincerity. We learn to forgive, even when the wound is deep. We learn that sometimes, love means letting someone go, and other times it means holding on tighter. Each moment in a relationship is a chance to grow, sometimes through joy, sometimes through pain. But both are part of the journey, and divine wisdom helps us walk it well. Sometimes we forget that every relationship is like a garden. It needs tending, care, and patience. If we ignore it, weeds grow, and the flowers may wither. But when we nurture it with love, attention, and kindness, it can bloom beautifully. Divine wisdom is like the gentle gardener who teaches us when to water, when to prune, and when to wait. It helps us understand that growth takes time. It teaches us to be patient with others and with ourselves. When we look at our loved ones through the eyes of divine wisdom, we start to see beyond the surface. We see their fears, their hopes, and their dreams. We see their struggles, even the ones they hide. This helps us be more compassionate. We stop blaming. We start supporting. We become a safe place where healing can begin. In love, this means knowing that your partner is not perfect, but still choosing to love them fully. It means learning to communicate with kindness, even when you disagree. It means letting go of small grudges and focusing on what really matters. Divine wisdom reminds us that love is a journey, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, but the heart that chooses love over anger will find peace. Family is often where we first experience love and pain. It is the place where we learn how to connect, how to forgive, and how to be forgiven. Sometimes family members disappoint us or hurt us without meaning to. Divine wisdom helps us see that everyone is doing the best they can with what they know. It teaches us to have mercy, even when it is hard. Forgiveness is one of the greatest gifts divine wisdom offers. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior. It means freeing yourself from the weight of anger and hurt. When we forgive, we open our hearts to healing and peace. We break the chains that hold us back and step into freedom. In family relationships, forgiveness can repair broken bonds and bring new life to old wounds. Friendships, too, need the touch of divine wisdom. True friends walk with us through life's storms and sunshine. They celebrate our joys and hold our hands in sorrow. Divine wisdom teaches us to be honest in friendship, to speak the truth in love, and to listen with open hearts. It reminds us that sometimes the best way to help a friend is simply to be present. Friendship is not about having many people around us, but about having a few hearts that truly connect. Divine wisdom helps us treasure these rare friendships. It helps us be grateful for the gift of someone who sees us, understands us, and loves us without conditions. Such friendships are like precious jewels in the journey of life. When relationships are difficult, divine wisdom is a source of strength. It reminds us that no situation is hopeless. It teaches us to pray for guidance and to seek peace in the middle of conflict. Sometimes this means taking a step back to cool down. Sometimes it means speaking with honesty and courage. Sometimes it means asking for help, from a trusted friend, a counselor, or a spiritual guide. Divine wisdom also teaches us about boundaries. Healthy boundaries protect our hearts and respect the hearts of others. They are not walls to keep people out but gates that open at the right time. Boundaries help us love without losing ourselves. They help us say yes to what is good and no to what is harmful. In every relationship, divine wisdom calls us to be humble. Humility is not thinking less of ourselves but thinking of ourselves less. It means putting others' needs alongside our own. It means admitting when we are wrong and being willing to change. Humility creates space for grace to enter and for love to grow. Sometimes, divine wisdom comes in the form of silence. When words fail or when emotions run high, the quiet moments can be the most powerful. Silence allows us to listen, not just to others but to our own hearts. It opens the door for God's voice to speak softly, guiding us gently toward peace and understanding. We live in a world full of distractions and noise. It is easy to lose sight of what really matters in relationships. Divine wisdom helps us focus on what lasts: love, kindness, and faithfulness. It reminds us that people, not things, are the greatest treasures we have. It encourages us to invest time and energy in building strong, loving connections. When moments of doubt fill your heart and relationships begin to feel heavy or uncertain, the gentle voice of divine wisdom speaks through the stillness. It whispers to your soul that love is never wasted, that every act of kindness and forgiveness shapes eternity in ways unseen. Divine wisdom wraps its wings around human weakness and transforms pain into purpose. It reminds us that relationships, though sometimes imperfect, are sacred instruments through which love learns to grow, deepen, and endure. When discouragement comes, divine wisdom does not silence your pain, instead, it holds it tenderly and transforms it into courage. It helps you remember that love is stronger than fear. Fear builds walls, but love builds bridges. Fear shuts the heart, but love opens it again and again, even after hurt or disappointment. Every time you choose to love instead of retreat, you move closer to divine truth. You become a vessel of grace, allowing heaven itself to touch the earth through your compassion and patience. Forgiveness is one of the purest forms of that grace. Divine wisdom teaches that forgiveness is not forgetting or condoning, it is releasing. It means freeing your heart from the chains of resentment so that peace can return. Each time you forgive, you open a door for healing, both for yourself and the one who has hurt you. It may not happen all at once, healing rarely does. But divine wisdom whispers that every small step toward forgiveness is powerful. It is an act of faith declaring that love, not pain, will have the final word.